Welcome back to Leeds Lately. Leeds have, of course, just won 2-0 against Plymouth Argyle away at Home Park, which, when I say it, always sounds weird, and we've played them twice there this season. It's a weird one because it's 8 games now in a row that Leeds have won this year, and it's unheard of in recent times, and it makes you feel so happy. Leeds have conceded 1 goal in the league in that time, 1 goal in 8 games. And of course, we are back now up into second place with Southampton to play Hull City midweek and Leeds to play Leicester on Friday. So we'll see how everything pans out towards the end of next week coming up. But at the moment, we can just enjoy another 2-0 victory. Now, this was a game, again, where the template seemed like it was going to be the exact same as all the other games that we've played against them this season. We score fairly early. Eventually, they score and equalise, and then either it goes to extra time if it's the FA Cup, or it's just a draw in the league or in the FA Cup as well. So it seemed like it was going down that path because we scored early. The Nonto goal was excellent. Jorginho kind of just booted the ball straight up in the air. Nonto brought it down in the box. I actually think it was a fairly poor touch from Nonto, but it actually was really good because it knocked it past the defender, so he was able to go, and put it in the bottom corner, hit the post and went in. So Nonto, again, I think that's 5 in 5 for him now, or something along those lines. So really, really good run of form for Nonto. I think he kind of tails off towards the end of games, and that's when you bring Dan James on to do damage as well. So I think at the moment we've got such a good balance in our attack where you can make those substitutions and bring those other players on later in the game. I thought that overall we were very good. I think, again, this relationship with Joe Rodon and Ethan Ampadu at the back is really, really flourishing. Archie Gray playing well again. Of course, Plymouth have that period of sustained pressure where they finally did come into the game and they tried to attack us and they had some good chances. They whipped the ball right across the face of the box. The striker Wayne wasn't able to get on the end of Miller's cross there, but it showed that they had enough to score a goal against us and to damage us, and we know that because we played them 3 times already before today. But having said that, Leeds, and you've got to give credit to our backline and Meslier, weathered that storm, and that's exactly what we needed to do before going and scoring the winner. I think it was really good the way that we were able to hold out, stop them being able to score, and eventually go in and score on ourselves. Now, our second goal came through Jorginho Rutte, but the ball originally came to Joel Peru on the halfway line, and he looked up and he took a little touch, which just allowed the defenders to move out the way, and then he curled the ball straight into Jorginho's path. Now, Jorginho was running through on goal. He had Somerville next to him, and he could have passed it, but instead he went himself, and he actually got himself a double nutmeg goal because he smashed it along the ground. It went through Ashley Phillips' legs, through Hazard, the goalkeeper's legs as well, and into the back of the net. Sealed the game 2-0, 2 goals to our goal difference, and 3 points on the board. Again, fantastic result from Leeds. I'm so happy with the way that we're playing at the moment because it's not even like it's just we're winning the easy games. We're winning the games where you think, okay, yeah, on paper, Plymouth aren't the best team in the world. They're not massively high up the league, but these are the tough games where you need to be winning them to be getting promoted. And I think we've now turned over that leaf and we are actually doing that, where it's going to be a really tough game for us to win, but we're still managing to do it, and I'm happy that we are able to do that, because earlier in the season we weren't able to break down these teams who are playing defensively against us. Now, Plymouth, not to say that they played defensively the whole game, but certainly in the opening exchanges, they were deep, they were tight, they were making sure that they didn't let us through the midfield and stuff. So we did well to score an early goal, and that kind of set the tone for the game. But yeah, like I say, I just wanted to come back round to giving credit to some of the players. I think Meslier had a really good game today. I think he gave away the ball once where it led to them having an attack, but other than that, he was strong. He came and claimed things. Excuse me. He came and claimed things. He was able to punch the ball away or catch the ball or be brave in those situations. He made a save or two as well, not really having to do too much in the way of wonderful diving reflex saves or anything, but he was doing what he needed to do. I've already talked about the back line. I think Gray, Rodon, Ampadu and Firpo are all very good today. Firpo, 1 or 2 mistakes. Midfield, Kamara, Gruev, again, good. Gruev, really good. Kamara, not as good, but still a decent game from him. I think he's the only one who's kind of replaceable. You know, when you look at this midfield issue that we've got so many good players that can play in there. I think at the moment, Kamara is the only one who's not in the best form of his life. So say if you had Ampadu, say if Struijk comes back and you want to play Struijk at centre-back and you put Ampadu back in midfield, it's not the end of the world, I would say, if you were to put him in for Kamara. Although we do think that Kamara and Ampadu Gruev and Ampadu don't necessarily work together because they're too similar, but that's just a story for another time. Then you move into the attacking positions. Jorginho, fantastic today. Although I didn't think actually during the game that he was able to make it stick as much as he would have liked to. I do think that he was still effective in the game. He had the most touches in the box, the most passes into the final third. All those statistics, he was top of them all. So he had a really good game, Jorginho. I think he's got to be man of the match for me. Then you move on to Somerville and Gnonto. I thought Gnonto had a really, really good first half. He did some good things in the second half as well, but it was probably time when he came off for Dan James. It was probably about time that happened. Joel Peru, not as effective as what a Bamford would have been, but I think he just needs to get himself into some more scoring positions, and then his use becomes more clear there, because obviously he did get an assist, which is really good from him, but that was when he started to drop deeper into that number 10 role, and I do think that that Joel Peru kind of needs that kind of striker role to come off for him, and at least he would then, you'd say, okay, that's his role and that's his position at the club. So at the moment, I think Joel Peru just needs to get himself into some more of those scoring positions. And then Somerville, I thought Somerville again was good. He wasn't able to do as much of what he wanted to do, but I think that was down to a good bit of defending by Plymouth. Obviously, they played like three at the back, so it's harder for us to break them down. So I thought Somerville did well, but not amazingly well. I do want to talk about one thing though, because one thing I noticed from the game, and it was very frustrating for me, is our ability to pass the ball to each other kind of fell apart for about a third of the game, probably from the 30th minute to the 60th minute, let's say. So over the just before halftime and just after halftime, and even then some other examples throughout the game. But the way that we just kept passing the ball into touch, like Firpo would try and pass the ball to Somerville, but it would just be like 2 yards wide of him and it would just go out for a throw in, or the other side, Archie Gray would do it for Gnonto or vice versa. And it was frustrating to watch because it was shades of Jesse Marsh's football, and where everybody's panicking so much to make the right pass that the ball just goes out of play. And it was really frustrating at times to watch that, because you know that these players are so much better than that. So hopefully that picks up in time for the Leicester game, because we're going to need to be on our absolute A game. But that is also at Elland Road, which we are unbeaten at this season. We're unbeaten this year. We've won every game this year. So we're going into this Leicester game with as much confidence as a team could possibly muster. So yeah, looking forward to that. That'll be live on the channel as well. So thanks for watching Leeds Lately, and I'll see you in the next one.